Hi guys, today is February 6th, 2012, so I am almost 11 months on T. My 11 months day is in 3 days, so yeah, 11 months on T. So for this video, I wanted to make an update, first regarding top surgery stuff. I've been trying to get a hold of Clinic, which is the health center in Winnipeg that does most of the trans stuff. I get my hormones through a different clinic that just happened to be opening up a trans service program type thing right around the time I went in, so I was their patient zero. So I really don't, or I haven't really been in contact with clinic that much. But for all the surgeries and stuff, they're the only people who know what's up and all that stuff. So I have to go through them. Which I was doing. I did my letter and all that stuff. Um, but they never called me back. So after waiting 6 months, I gave them a call, which wasn't returned, and I gave them another call, which finally was returned during my class, actually, which was really funny. But not really funny. But anyway, so I talked to them, and one thing led to next. Yesterday, they ended up calling me again, saying that they have sent my stuff out to a couple surgeons, one of them being Ziesman, who I've heard about through a variety of people. And supposedly this new guy named something with a T. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I don't remember it. Turner. There we go. Like William Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's all I remember. Anyway, Turner. So they said that I have an appointment with Dr. Turner in March, the beginning of March. So I will go check that out. I think he's a newer surgeon, but someone who I talked to said that he's already done surgeries on 10 different guys. So I hope he'll know what he's doing, and supposedly he has a shorter waiting list too. Um, so if I could get these puppies off before summer, that would be fantastic. Um, no more binding. It'll be a good time. Anyway, for that was that update. For the rest of this video, I guess I just wanted to talk about, I guess, my defining moments. I've heard it referred to as defining moments, so I'm going to use that term. The moment I knew that I was trans, that transition was right, all that jazz. I was at a group yesterday, and I sent the guy a list of questions, and this was one of the questions on the list. And I felt like I had a story, and the other guys didn't have their stories, I guess, laid out. So I figured I would just lay mine out, as you can hear. Why not share over the internet, right? So around grade 9, I was in a relationship with a guy, living as female. Um, yeah, weird times. Him and I are all cool now, I think, but still weird. Um, anyway, so around grade 9, there was this girl I had a crush on, and I didn't know why I was having feelings for a girl. I thought it was really weird. But it was through her that I thought that, that was kind of the breaking point when I knew that I was a little different. First, I thought I was just bisexual. So that's what I called myself, I guess. I never really labeled. Well, yeah, I did. I labeled myself as that, even though I knew I wasn't really interested in men. I think I was still kind of holding on to some sense of what society says you should do. So that was my label, I guess. Um, Going into grade 10, I joined this thing called the Gay Straight Alliance, which, as it suggests, was my high school's GLBT group, club thing, I guess. And I thought I was going to be going to GSA half the time and anime club half the time, but after my first meeting, I knew that that was where I wanted to be. So I stayed there all year long. At the end of the year, they had the speaker come in. I had never really heard about transgender. I didn't know what it was, but the speaker who came in was a trans guy, FTM, obviously. Um, and he was talking about how he witnessed his friends come out, and he thought, oh, at least I won't have to deal with that. That's really tough. At least I won't have to deal with that, right? Right. And that's kind of what I did too. That I said that too. I was like, wow, that's tough. At least I won't have to deal with that, like he said. And that phrase just kept going in through my head, and kind of my thoughts would just focus on that idea, and I didn't know why it was reoccurring. Um, it was during that time I went through a tight shirt phase. I never liked dresses, I never liked skirts, but I did go through this phase where I wore really tight t-shirts. I guess they weren't even like blouses or anything fancy, they were just tight t-shirts. Um, and I guess that was the extent of my femininity. Never went with the makeup, didn't understand why girls went to the bathroom in groups, hung with the boys. My best friend was a guy who had a crush on me. He was now no longer my best friend because he couldn't accept my transition. But, I still cherish those memories because he really taught me who I was. But, at that time I didn't know what was going on. By grade 11, I knew something was up, and I couldn't just continue. So I kind of labeled myself genderqueer. Um, and I didn't know exactly how that would play into my life. But I did have this genderqueer label, and I thought I was just genderqueer until I went to my summer camp. My summer camp is a very gender specific camp. It has religious ties, religious meanings in the camp. It's not like a super religious camp, but there is definitely hints of religion throughout the camp, and Jewish religion, um, but still very religion-y. And that was my first year as a counselor. Now, I've been going to this camp since I was 10, 9, something like that. And this was my first year as a counselor, and I was in a cabin, girls' cabin, with little mini girls. And something felt off. I couldn't I didn't feel like I should be in the girls' cabin at all. It was really weird having these little kids, like little girls, looking up to me, and here I am with my short hair, my boys' clothing, my, you know, no ounce of femininity that I could really see. I mean, music and such, but um, I didn't really per se portray the female persona. Um, so great. So camp, even before the kids came, um, we had this program that we had to do, and it was just for the counselors, and it was girls' night, boys' night. I had to go to this one, unfortunately, and I gotta say, for a camp that I thought I knew so well, I realized that I was nothing like my coworkers, my female coworkers. That girls' night was the most awkward, uncomfortable, depressing moment I can remember. Um, it. I watched. I sat there in silence as I watched all these girls bond together, and I knew I could never be that. I could never be one of them. I couldn't bond. I didn't relate the same way they did. Like, I was just this outsider without. Sorry, my fish is acting weird. Sorry, I was just this outsider, and not to mention the fact that I had to be dressed in all pink that night, skin tight pink clothing, um, which was very unfun. But it just added to the uncomfortableness of that night. And after it was over, I left, and they were all still in there talking, and I went back to my cabin, and I changed into my normal clothes. Um, I have this hat that I like. I still wear it. It's like a beanie, but back then it made me feel super masculine. Um, so I go back to my cabin, change into my clothes, put this beanie on, go back to the building where they're all talking, and I just looked in, and I knew I could never be one of those people. And I want to say that something depressing happened, but after that, to make it more movie, if that was a movie-esque for you, I want to say that I cried for no. I actually ran into two of my friends who worked in the kitchen, both of which were males, and we went and chilled. But still, if it wasn't for them, I probably would have been super depressed that whole night. Luckily, they helped me bring my mood up, but um, still, that night I remember as a defining moment when I knew I couldn't be what society told me I was supposed to. And it was really that moment that I knew that I had to transition, and I knew that I had to be true to myself. Um, so I don't know if that helps anyone. If that, I don't know if you, I don't really know who watches these videos, but that was my defining moment. That's when I knew, and never looked back since. Actually, I do look back, and I think about my past and stuff, and I think about all the things that should have been warning signs, like from the get go. Like maybe when I was trying to wrestle with my brother when I was younger, maybe that should have been a sign. Maybe when I, played with cars and trucks, maybe that should have been a sign. But still, that was definitely the defining moment that I look back to, and I say that is when I knew for sure. Um, so yeah, take it as you will. Have yourself a fantastic day.